Okay. First, we take our sock. Okay.
And there we go.
Okay, so has everybody seen the class handout?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do for tonight is to get started to get to this stage for the next class.
And is that the yarn stage? Or is the thread stage?
That's the yarn stage. Yeah, so we start by taking our sock and our odd sock. Yes, there is a use for odd socks. And we cut it off just before the heel. Then we take our stuffing material. I'm using fleece that isn't any good for spinning. It's good for felting and it's good for stuffing, but I'm using that. And we stuff it into the sock. You would do the same with if you're using polyester fiber fill. It's a very similar to use than the wool. But I have the wool, so that's what I'm using. And we stuff. Until it gets fairly firm. So you saw how much wool I took.
So that's what, about the size of a grapefruit now, or?
No, it's about the size of a large orange. An orange.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or a small grapefruit, but it's, you see in my hands, I have small hands. That's like
yeah,
that.
right. Mine are much bigger.
Yes, but it doesn't matter as long as it's firm. Doesn't matter how big it is. Okay. I've made them from golf ball size up to grapefruit size, large grapefruit size. Right. So once we get the stuffing in, you can put things like lavender in there too to make it nice and smelly. Oh, there's a cat.
Yep. And now there's not.
Okay. Once we get it to that stage, we take the end of the sock and we fold it over. And we take our yarn.
Does it matter what kind of yarn you use?
It should be, the weight is what matters, not the consist. It can be acrylic, baby yarn or sock yarn or fingerling. It has to be a fine yarn.
Okay.
It should have should be a knitting yarn. It should have some stretch elasticity to it. Some of the weaving yarns don't, and they're not as good for this.
Oh, okay.
Because you'll see in just a minute.
Right.
See, I've got this. And I take that and I pull it tight around. And I turn it a little bit every time so that the wrap is completely completely random.
Yeah, so definitely want something that's not going to tear on you.
Yes, you want your yarn to be fairly strong. That's why sock yarn or baby yarn or fingerling works really well.
Okay.
This is sock yarn. I hear giggling somewhere.
Yeah, it's my living room. That's my
So
sister.
you do this. You do this until it looks like this. And this one, and every so often you go like this, all over, you squeeze it. Because that helps it to be round when you're finished.
Okay.
Because it gets it into the shape. You won't see it even looks a little rounder than it did before I squeezed. And it's good if your yarn is a contrasting color to your sock, because you do this until you can't see your sock anymore. And it's also good if your thread in the next stage is a contrasting color to your yarn, because you're going to do the same thing with that. So we will wrap yarn and have a social time until somebody comes up with a question. And I can show you it can take hours, so watch on the TV. Hi, have you been following along all the way?
Me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just unmuted myself.
Okay.
Yeah, she came in when you were
Okay.
talking, so I didn't want to interrupt you.
Okay, so I either buy thread like a spool this size or a cone like this for doing the next stage. I've given the instruction for tonight. We have to get to the next stage for the next class before we do any more.
I think
I
everybody's
told
just
you I wouldn't need long.
happily wrapping.
So Ruth, once you get to the point where you've got it completely wrapped, then do you cut
Yes.
the thread off and stitch it in with a large needle?
That's the thread, or
The yarn.
are you talking about the yarn?
Do you cut the yarn off and stitch
No,
it in?
you just hold it down with your thumb and you wrap with the thread.
Okay.
You don't have to stitch it in. The stitching in part is when you get to the end of the thread. That's so when you start your embroidery, it doesn't come loose.
So how many layers should we make?
You just keep going until you don't see your sock anymore. And you know about doing it completely random? What's your name?
Yep. Yvonne.
What's Yvonne? You know about doing it completely. You know about doing it completely random.
Yep.
Little turn in between each wrap. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You just go until you don't see your sock anymore. Or in Joanne's
Towards the
case,
size you want, I'm
you
guessing.
don't see her kitty fur anymore.
Yes. Yeah, the center of mine is made out of compressed cat hair.
Handy.
Yep. and it felts together kind of like wool, but a little more coarse. So I just made a ball. I didn't use a sock.
Yeah. But you'll see, I've been wrapping that for 10 minutes, and you'll see how much smaller it is than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Smaller. It's because you're tightening it.
Is it brown
My-
and crispy?
My ball of yarn is on the ground, and my cat has suddenly noticed it.
Of course. Oh, we have a Kate.
Oh, we do.
We do.
Okay. That may change things
Let
back to the way they were.
me unmute you. Hi, Kate.
No, Rachel, you can't.
Hello.
Hello.
So,
Hello.
did you see the class handout, Kate?
No, it took me 20 minutes just to find this. Where's the handout?
It's on in the event page.
It's on the what?
It's in the event page.
Here,
You
I
can
will
download
message
the
it
event
to
page.
you.
Thank you.
Kate, do you have all your materials?
I'm actually just going to be listening at this point.
Okay. Do you want to do a recap for her, Ruth?
Okay, so we started with the sock, and I cut the toe off right before the heel. See?
Okay.
That's the sock. Then I started wrapping it with this sock yarn. Can either be sock yarn, baby yarn, or fingerling. It doesn't have to be wool. It just has to have some elasticity to it and be fine and strong enough to do a wrap, because you wrap it pretty firmly.
Okay.
So you wrap it completely randomly with a little turn in between each wrap, so that it ends up looking like this. Without, there shouldn't be many threads, lines parallel to each other. They should be random. So it's not like when you wrap when you wrap a skein of yarn.
Okay.
Okay, and you squeeze it like this. You squeeze it like this every so often, and that helps it shape into an actual ball as you go.
Okay.
And everything you need will be in the handout. On page, the materials are on page 3 of the handout. If you have trouble, I have 5 copies of this I got from Staples today. I can leave one outside on my deck for you if you can't download it.
Appreciate that. I should be able to download it now that Angie has sent it to me, but I'll be honest, I'm not leaving the apartment for anything.
Well, I'm not even mine either, so I understand completely. I'm having friends pick things up for me and groceries and such, because I know I wouldn't survive if I caught this thing after the year I've had.
How are
Yeah.
you doing now?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I just want to stay that way.
Understandable.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
appreciating
heard,
seeing the green of the grass. I'm not too keen on finding the underlying white.
yes.
Yeah, like you, Ruth, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't survive
Yeah.
with
It's
double
best,
pleural
the best thing.
pneumonia last year and pneumonia the year before and pneumonia the year before that. I think my lungs are pretty much,
No. Yeah, toasted.
yeah. Well,
Um,
they've already established that they're weak,
so
so
the best thing, the way I'm looking at it is the best thing I can do for the nation is to stay out of the healthcare system.
yeah.
Of course, my ball of yarn has to get a tangle.
Question about the thread.
Okay, go ahead.
Should it be stronger than that? Should it be
Is
stronger than
the
that?
yarn?
No,
Is
that's
that
the
the
thread
yarn?
to go after. No, it's the thread.
You need
I've
it to
already-
be, well, you got that far with it? Can you, oh, that's too heavy.
That's too
You
heavy?
need it
that's-
to be
that's the
going.
yarn.
Oh, that's the yarn, that's fine.
That's the yarn. And now I'm about to start with the thread, but it's ripping apart. Is that no good?
You need it to be able to wrap it pretty strongly.
Okay, then this is no good. Okay. I will get a different thread.
It might be the same.
Yeah, but we're not,
Different.
we'll be doing that next time.
Different.
Oh, we're not doing that yet. Okay. I mean, I'm
No,
caught
no,
up.
no, everybody needs to get their ball to the finished stage of wrapping with yarn before we start the thread.
Got it. Okay. Then I will-
That's why I said the classes would be 30 to 40 minutes. We've done 30 minutes now. So, okay, so how's everybody doing?
This is soft.
Let's see, Joey.
I'm already on to thread.
You're doing thread?
Yeah, I've already gone on to thread because I'm going to make another one as well for a base, and then I'll wrap next week in thread as well. But I'm
Okay,
not doing the embroidering until we have the class on that.
okay. Now, if everybody wants to go ahead and once they finished wrapping with their yarn, to start with their thread and do exactly the same thing. But leave a long tail on the thread when you're finished, and I'll show you how to stitch it at the beginning of the next class.
Okay.
You need to have a tail of about 2 feet or so long after you've done the thread.
I think what I might
I wasn't sure
do-
how long. I wasn't sure how many people were gonna come and how many questions I was gonna have.
right.
So but basically, you wrap with your thread the same way, completely haphazard until you don't see your yarn anymore.
And Wanda, Angie recorded the beginning of the class, so if you want to watch it later.
Will you post the class 1 to the event
Yeah,
for
I can
me,
do that.
Angie?
Okay,
'Cause I
I'm like,
think
am
we're
I
done.
muted? No.
No. I think that's all for tonight. We've done 35 minutes, and that's halfway between how much time I thought we'd need. And if we can all get to the finish of our thread or wrapping our thread by Saturday, that would be great.
Cool.
Then we can go on to dividing the ball, stitching in the thread and dividing the ball at the next class.